little coughs of amusement in its place. And if anyone hit on her, she looked at them like they were a foreign species, as though she did not understand how they could desire her, someone so unlovable. Alice had never liked Brian. He was rude to waiters, the cardinal sin to Alice, who worked in the service industry, and Uber drivers. Dismissive of homeless people, condescending to women, particularly to Gabby, who insisted that he was only trying to help when he corrected her grammar and disparaged her grasp of current events. It seemed impossible that someone as emotionally astute as Alice's best friend would not see the way he spread rudeness like confetti over everything around him. But she was blinded by love. That was how she described it when, after ignoring Alice's check-in calls for 2 weeks, Gabby finally announced herself ready to leave the apartment and meet her best friend for a drink. I was blinded by love. Eyes gouged, burlap sack overhead, absolute darkness. Alice had just finished her shift as a cater waitress, passing around flutes of champagne and caviar on pastry puffs at the Carousel House in Chase Park when Gabby texted, asking if she was free to meet. "Please don't make me drink alone," Gabby wrote, already at the bar. This left Alice no choice except to agree to meet her when she was done folding up chairs and breaking down tables. Alice had been working for Cuisine by Caroline for 8 years. While the job itself was routine, an hour of circulating trays of bite-sized food, followed by the more precarious task of ushering larger trays laden with entrees between tables of increasingly intoxicated guests, each event was its own sociological experiment. Alice loved studying partygoers the way a biological anthropologist might study the habits of animals in the wild. At the 50th anniversary party she'd just worked, she watched the attendees eye the couple of the hour, noting a mix of envy and awe as they tried to decipher their secret to lasting love. If Alice had not met them at the beginning of the evening, she would not have known they were a couple at all, let alone the couple the party was celebrating. There was nothing particularly notable about them. No sparks you could sense across the room, no covert hand-holding beneath the table to suggest they were as in love as on the day they married a half-century ago. Nothing to indicate why they succeeded where so many failed. Nothing for their guests to emulate or extract from their good fortune. This was love, Alice thought. Random and unremarkable. Not worth the trouble. Alice rode her bike straight from work to the bar, where she arrived slightly sweaty, her white button-down shirt splotched with béarnaise sauce. All she wanted to do was go home and shower. Her knees ached from being on her feet all night, and she could feel her curly hair frizzing in a particularly unflattering way. But Gabby did not trust herself to be alone at the bar. Alice didn't trust her either. The bar was 4 blocks from Gabby's apartment, where they used to play trivia with Brian and his friends every week. Really, Gabby and Alice talked while Brian and his friends argued each other out of the right answers because none of them were willing to admit that one of their teammates might know more about college basketball or dead presidents than they did. Perhaps Alice should have suggested a place they were less likely to run into Brian, but she liked the small beach bar with its license plate collection and assorted Pop-Tarts for sale. Plus, on a Tuesday night, it was empty, giving Alice the space to drink in all her sweaty, frizzy-haired glory, and Gabby the freedom to cry as much as she wanted. Alice stepped into the bar and found her best friend lounging on the white leather couch in the back, dark circles under her eyes and an oversized sweater somehow making her appear even lovelier than usual. Gabby waved Alice over, wild floral wallpaper whirling around her as she sipped a cocktail that had turned her tongue turquoise. Behind the couch, bookcases filled with hardbacks, Tiffany lamps, and candelabra made the space seem like an old-time library. It gave Alice that Narnia feeling, as though she could push a shelf in and enter another realm. Gabby lifted her drink to Alice, offering to buy her one. "It's called a Blue Lady." The inside of her mouth looked